Welcome back, listeners, to another Heads Up show, and I'd like to introduce a new member to the panel. His name's Money Shot. And oh no, hang on.
It's been a while, hasn't it, Neil?
It has been a while.
2 weeks and they've all forgotten about me.
It's good to have you back. You've been having a good time going around the countryside, have you? What have you been up to?
Well, I attended my mother's wedding 2 weeks ago. That was a very enjoyable occasion, and then had a work Christmas do in Auckland last Friday, and cruised down to Trentham on Saturday to see the mighty Koei win his 7th Group 1 race, and what a race it was too. Had no favours in the run, but Waddell rode him like the best horse in the race, and so it proved. Too strong on the line, and I think you got plenty, didn't you, Neil? You can buy me a Christmas present now.
Maybe two. Yeah, no, it was. They tried to keep him off that out 3 wide, didn't they, early on, and then he had to go wide and worked into it nicely. And what was the crowd like when he was coming down the straight? Were they sort of yelling for him, or what was going on there?
Well, you wouldn't believe it. There's a group of guys. I don't know if the subscribers are aware of a Facebook page called Boys Get Paid. If you are on Facebook, search that page, ask to become a member. It's a group, there's over 5,000 now, where people share information and tips and a bit of banter. They had, I guess, a function. There was about 200 enthusiastic punters in their contingent, and I believe they had 2,000 to win on Koei in their little internal punters club. So the noise and the scenes as Koei crossed the line were what racing's all about, the excitement, the passion. There's a few videos up on their Facebook page of it. Then they managed to get Alan Sharrock and Jason Waddell to come up to their area after the race, and you would have thought you were at an English soccer ground or at the darts. The singing, the chanting, there's only one Alan Sharrock, all that type of carry-on. But that's what racing is about, a bit of excitement, a bit of passion. So it was great scenes at Trentham, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, that's great, because he led, didn't he, after turning, and it was a long way down that straight, so they must have been a quite hoarse by the winning post, I'd say, wouldn't they?
Exactly, yeah. He hung tough, though. And
oh, sure did.
He's got one to equal Mufasa with the most domestic Group 1s of 8, so he's only one off that. So I know he has his knockers in some quarters, but you can't really knock his record, that's for sure.
No, how can you knock a horse like that? He won that, was it the Windsor Plate?
3 wide.
3 wide in the open all the way.
Yeah.
How many horses can do that? No, he's a good, tough, true Group 1 horse, so he's terrific.
Where to next, so do you think? I get the feeling it might be the Telegraph.
Yeah, I think that was the talk, and the money's come for the horse in that race. So he was 10 into 8. Stephen Hunt tweeted out after the race on Saturday. So he's a type of horse that can win that again, can't you? Just freshen him up. And
yeah, it's kind of like a 12. It's like a 1,400 metre race almost. The Telegraph. So yeah, that'd be a good effort for sure if he could win that.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good race, that too. A few speedsters in there, so it'll set it up nicely for him. So yeah, it'd be worth watching that actually. And did you back any other winners down there, or?
Oh well, I followed you in on Spring Heat. Wasn't quite smart enough to get. What was it? 750 when it opened.
It was 850 when it opened.
850, yeah. But that was impressive, wasn't it? Just in a few strides, just blew them away.
Yeah, and the race sort of set up nicely for it. I thought she'd be 3 back on the fence, and she did, but they buttoned off mid-race, which I was a bit concerned about. But when Jake Bayliss pushed out, which cost him a few days off, she just unleashed and it was all over. And Prom Queen, $2 was way too short, and but she won a good race. She was worked over early when she had to work wide. But
did you keep an eye on Betfair? Was there much money being laid on Prom Queen? Because I would have laid that for all the money in China. Really, I couldn't see that winning. I know, easy to say now, but do you know if there was much action on Prom Queen on Betfair?
I can't remember, but I was on Spring Heat there, and she was on about late $485 on there, and drifted a bit late, I think, too, from memory. But our Prom Queen would have been close to $3, I presume.
Yeah.
But
don't know what they'll do with her. Probably needs a freshen up, I'd say.
Yeah.
Prom Queen.
Yeah, needs to go back to sprints, 1200 metres, especially against older horses. she'll need to do that, won't she? What else? No. And we better mention today's races, obviously. At Tauranga. Well, should we mention that in the next section, eh?
Yeah, we'll do a bit of a preview of Tauranga and some of the features at Te Rapa.
Okay, well, I'll push the stop button here and we'll be back in a sec with part 2.
Part 2 now, listeners. We're doing something a little different. The podcast will be up and available nice and early, so we're going to preview a Friday race meeting. Happens to be at Racing Tauranga, where the weather is absolutely glorious. Track currently a dead 4. Expect an upgrade with the overhead conditions being the way they are. Perfect day's racing. Neil Davis, running the Punters Club, therefore has done all the form. So Neil, we want a good way to make some money today at Tauranga to get the weekend under way the right way. How about race 7, the Kiwi Fruit Investments Limited 1400? Pretty good field. Looks a racing 2 for mine. Miss Horror 2 against Ruby Amani.
Yeah, they do look the 2, don't they? And the money's sort of come for those 2. And Beauty's Rose has got to be a chance, I suppose. Or she's come in from 750 to 550. Probably the biggest mover, but you'd think Ruby Amani, I know you're pretty keen on her. Can you sort of explain why?
I just think she's highly regarded. Clearly, she's running $300,000 fillies and mares weight for age races.
Yeah.
So last season, she ran 5th in the Pukekohe Counties, or the Breeders' Stakes at Counties. This year, she ran 7th. The following start, she ran in the Kialai Zuzu at Te Rapa, which is the equivalent race tomorrow. She was only 7 lengths off Coldplay. This time, they're not avoiding that. They're running in a rating 65 at Tauranga. I think that just that drop in class. She hasn't run in a rating 65 for nearly about 12 starts. So this is the weakest field she's faced. She's always been pretty tough in those higher graded races in terms of her runs, caught wide, but always fights on well. And I think today's her money day. Ruby Amani, good bet. Race 7.
Yeah, it's good.
Because the Punters Club might have something on it.
Oh, definitely. I think so. What, 480 now? If she stays at that price, we might sort of get on early because I'll just look at the speed map here because Miss Horotu, you'd think would go back. She's not fast out. Ruby Amani maps to get about 4th or 5th. Kaharo's and should be a reasonable pace there. So I think it. Yeah, I'll tell you what. At Pukekohe, she looked really well before the start. And say 3rd up, you'd think back in class. Crikey, an R70 race. 480 and Miss Horotu back looking for luck and a decent tempo.
I think that was where, remember when we were at Counties last year and she kind of didn't have all favours in that fillies and mares race when she did run 5th, and we kind of put the flashing red light on her head after that run. I know she hasn't won since then, but maybe we'll get rewarded. Patience. 12 months later we might get our payday on Ruby Amani.
Too right. Now looking forward to that race. And anything else you can? Let's label one other during the day that punters can get onto.
When I was going through them, Neil, it's not easy. I'll give you another one at value. I couldn't believe the price on this. Race 4, same stable actually, the Moroni Gerard stable. Race 4, number 3, Lara Estrella, $7. Pretty good run first up at Counties. Should take improvement from that. So wouldn't be surprised to see La Estrella improve a couple of spots in the 4th race.
Yeah, it was a nice run. I'd look at that run and came through on probably the slower ground and on a heavy track. But there's one on there I'm quite keen to have a good look at, because her trials were very...
Chill?
No, one above it.
No.
Anacita, Karen Zimmerman's.
Okay.
Home. And all her trials, she was never pushed. All educational runs amongst horses, running home nicely. And $9, she could be a sneaky one. But have a good look.
There you go.
She's nice and settled. But in that 3rd race, gee, I do like Heat Seeker. He's into 260 now. That was a great run on debut.
Huge run.
It was, and the sectional was terrific. The only query is he will get back, but there's a heap of pace in this race, so we're just banking on the gaps opening up at the right time. Brendan Morganrood sounds like an Irish name or something. So
he's South African from memory.
Is he?
He's ridden one winner in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, okay.
Can't remember quite where. Might have been at Ruakaka from memory.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. No, I think I'll have a good look at him, and the track's playing okay, which it should be. I think he can sort of settle midfield or behind and unleash with a winning run, hopefully. Right, the Punters Club will be on races 3 to 8, and hopefully we're still alive by Ruby Amani's race. And get a few dollars.
Tiara was where he rode his winner.
Oh, yeah.
Just be careful, Neil. You know, we're losing a few members to heart attacks, because when I go and tell them about your bets of 5,000 to win, some of our older members get, short of breath, and actually, they're certainly, I think they're slowly getting used to the ride that you're taking them on in our Punters Clubs. But yeah, that's what it's all about, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's enjoying the ups and downs of the punt.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, looking forward to it, actually. Pete Seeger wins for us. We should be off to a good start, so we'll see. Anyway, as long as he looks all right, we'll be on him. And at Tirapa, there's also a really good race there for the fillies and mares. Just bring it up here. Love Affair.
Race 6, the Cowley Zuzu, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think there? What are you thinking?
Well, the old saying, money speaks 1,000 languages. When you've got one stable with the first three favourites in a race, and basically one horse has been slammed 3s into 220 and the other 2 are drifters,
yep,
makes you think that Love Affair is the way to go. Clearly yet to be tested in this company, but the way she's been winning through the grades suggests she could handle the step up. Still set weights. If this was a handicap, she'd be getting a bit of weight off those ones at the top. So I don't know. I thought 220 was probably rock bottom price for her now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, her section. I did her sectionals at counties, and they were very similar to the fillies and mares race, the next race that was run there by Sensible Princess. But her last 200 metres was quicker than anything in that race. So you'd think, and the way she hit the line, you'd think the mile would be ideal for her now. And she's got that X factor about her. But the only query is she's drawn 7, and there's not a heck of a lot of pace. There's Petite Angel go forward, the Kipling Girl probably go forward, Devise may go forward, Indian Rose, but there's not a real strong pace, and she may get caught 3 wide in the open. And but Opie's might be a weight to her and just slide forward and sit second outer. But yeah, 220 is probably rock bottom, but I think she's definitely good enough to win. But whether she gets the right one is the query. But, what could beat her? Anything?
Well,
I quite like Rising Shot.
Yeah, well, I heard you on the radio with Mark Clayton on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Rising Shot. It's a horse that's trained on the track. It's won at Tirapa before.
Yep.
Not a bad run, 3 wide, no cover last time, so you'd forgive that run.
Yeah, home.
So,
Yeah.
The problem is, you look at it and you say, well, what can beat Love Affair, and you're struggling to find an answer. So
That's right.
That might be the answer to the question as to who wins.
That's right, yeah. Stolen Dance, if she began well and trailed on a moderate tempo, you'd think she'd be the one to beat, but I think Love Affair will just have that ping in the last 100 metres and be too good probably. But intriguing race, but yeah, looking forward to that. And nothing else. Okay, we'll be back with the sports preview in a sec. Okay, Money Shot, you've had a couple of good weeks of rest and good study. What have you come up with for this weekend?
Well, it's kind of a quiet time, to be fair, Neil, in the sporting world. The cricket's going on at the moment, the Ashes tests and the New Zealand stuff. But for me, the Christmas period, in terms of sports now, every morning it's all about the darts. The World Championship of Darts at the Alexandra Palace in London. It's kicked off this morning. It goes right through to, I think, the 3rd, maybe the 4th of January.
Oh, wow.
So it's 2.5 weeks of high-class entertainment, and that's what... Isn't it amazing, the sport of darts? Who would have thought it would have come to where it is from 10, 15 years ago? But they've embraced that entertainment factor, and great sport for TV, clearly, and it's going from strength to strength. And I think a lot of other sports, racing included, needs to work on ways to how can it change its product to make it more appealing in today's environment.
Yeah.
And saying all that, I'm not going to be brave. I think he's the most dominant sportsman on the planet at the moment, Michael Van Gerwen.
Okay.
Currently, he's playing in an hour or so in his first round game. So the current overall tournament winner is shut at the moment, but it should reopen later on this afternoon. He'll be at $1.60, $1.65, something like that. When it reopens, I just think it's a great Christmas present for everyone. Just put it in your multis and watch your multi grow and enjoy the master, the Dutch master. He's in rare form. When he puts it together, no one on the planet can get near him. And with the World Championship, the format of the games, as they get into the latter stages of the tournament, the longer games, finals, first to 7 legs. Each leg is first to 7 sets. Each set is best of 5 legs. So the longer the format of the game, the more likely the cream rises to the top.
That's right.
So nothing too exciting in the sporting front, other than picking Michael Van Gerwen to win his 3rd World Championship and go back-to-back after winning it earlier this year.
Are there any other sort of types of bets to watch out for if people are watching it live?
Well, I don't like to give away all my secrets, but if you go to a website called if you just put in live darts in Google,
yeah,
and there's a website that comes up, live.dartsdata.com, and there often you'll see, prior to a game, you'll get to see who throws first. Now, slightly different in this format because it is a sets format, not a legs format, but often it's kind of like tennis. If you know who's serving first, you know if they need to win 6-3, they only have to have 1 break of serve in the first set if they're serving first, but if they're serving second, they have to have 2 breaks of serve. And it's a bit like that in darts with 2 breaks of throw. If you're looking at in the normal tournaments where it's just legs, slightly different though, but that's something to place your hat in, as you can often see before the bookies realise who's throwing first on that website. They put it up basically straight away once it's been decided in the practice room. Yeah. You can get a little bit of an advantage at times there. I'm giving away all my secrets now, Neil, but hey, I guess that's what we do at Christmas time. We're here to provide and give out good info.
Yeah, I see. It's interesting actually. I'm on the site now and I see Kister's going to throw first, so he's got the advantage.
Yep. Well, he's got the advantage in theory in the first set, and then it alternates. So Van Gerwen will throw first in the second set.
Yeah.
I think the first round's only, from memory, the first round is 3 sets. So hey, it could have a small advantage. Generally in the legs, but if you can have betting, which they don't always do, but sometimes on who's going to win the first set, well, the person throwing first has some advantage. Clearly, if it's a mismatch in terms of the player's ability, not so much. But yeah, just something there for the punters. If you're keen on darts, that website can be quite useful for sure.
Oh, that's good to know. Oh, thanks for that. Okay. Right, back with
Brickbats and bouquet in our next section and a multi-comp.
Looking forward to that. Rightio. Back in a sec. Okay, back with the brickbats and bouquets and the multi-question. Looking forward to that. Money shot. Got a good positive note we can start off on?
Yeah, I caught a few races at the Manawatu Trots of all places this week. I think they raced Tuesday and Thursday. And Justin Evans, formerly known as Justin Catterick, I think he said he'd been doing trials since the mid-90s, and this was his debut, so to speak. So he's certainly done his apprenticeship, but very easy style, very easy to listen to, and pretty good all round, really. So big bouquet to Justin Evans. I'm sure he'll get used more and more, probably when Tony Lee heads over on his trip to Cheltenham, in Dubai and wherever he's going in March. He'll probably step up and do the CD then, I imagine. So yeah, great debut on the commentating front for Justin. Yeah,
I must say I heard him too and I was impressed. Yeah, good smooth caller, and was able to pick which horses were going to be in the finish early on. So there's always an art to that, I think, isn't there? So especially when you're commentating, you've got to think of other things as well. And
you and I would always be going to early crow and There's a few horses actually. I saw one race. This horse looked home for all money and got nutted. Looked 4 lengths clear at the 100 and got nutted on the line. So you and I probably would have gone the early crow and called it home.
Yeah, a bit like this afternoon with Ruby Armani, 4 lengths clear with 100 metres to go. It's all over. What? Who's this flying into the cloud? Also heard a female greyhound caller in Australia too the other day. She was quite good too.
It's certainly different, isn't it? I guess she calls a few races at Sandown, I think, on a Sunday night. I must admit, because we're not used to it, it just feels different. But she had her own style and that, and certainly I've heard a lot worse male callers than her, so that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I sort of played it back, and she got through the whole field and was picking the winner well out. Well, not well out, but she was onto the winner. And I was impressed, so that's good to see. Maybe it's time for a female caller here to step up somewhere. So there must be some around somewhere who are keen to have a go. So, yeah, never know. And
Wednesday night, Ellerslie. Great concept.
It was a good concept, wasn't it? I liked it.
The Jockeys World Cup.
Yeah, having those really good jockeys over here. We hear, see on TV all the time, but yeah.
I think that there was a pretty big but, and I think everyone would probably agree, and I think even the Auckland Racing Club have probably realised that for future competitions like this, one thing needs to change, Neil.
Oh, definitely, the colours need to change. I think they realised that afterwards, but no, good to see the idea, but I had to do the sectionals on the meeting, and just as well there were big, large numbers on the saddle cloths because the colours were just hopeless to try and work out. So, and George's call was good, but he made a couple of errors, but you can't blame him for that.
It's funny how we become so attuned to colours, and I there was a Valor horse running, you're looking out for that, and you're expecting to see just thinking blue and white, and this was in the first race, and then of course, completely different colours, and it does throw you. I understand the concept, but I don't think the casual race goer probably would know much difference anyway. Maybe just maybe have the racing colours and just have coloured hats to signify the teams, etc.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it'll be sorted out, I'm sure, for next time. But looking forward to next time already. That's good. I had a couple of queries about She's a Thief's time. She's racing tomorrow at Te Rapa. Her time of 1:00.36 was incorrect. It was 58.55, so a lot faster than the official time. So, and
I tell you what, Neil.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a connection to that horse. Know some of the owners there. That horse has improved since its last run.
Crikey.
So I'd be just climbing aboard tomorrow. It'd be very hard to beat from the one gate. The way it won on that Sunday meeting at Cambridge, very impressive. And I think if it has improved, which they say it has, it could be winning that by just as much.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. Interesting to see what
how can they get the time so wrong?
Well, I'll tell you what, it often happens in the first race, even at Tauranga a couple of meetings ago. They were out by about 16 seconds and they put the official time up. Whether it's a typo, I don't know, but
16 seconds?
16 seconds in the first race.
You can't be 16 seconds out.
It was 16 seconds out. It was a 2-1 race and the official time was 2:31 point something. And the actual time was 2:09. It was incredible. I'll let you know afterwards. But anyway, so I got a hold of the head steward and they sorted it out and changed it. So, but it does happen often in the first race. I don't know why. Often if it's going to be a mistake, it'll be in the first race. So with the gears warming up, or I don't know.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, but I always check the times, especially if they don't sound right, and try and get it right. Rightio, now it's almost Christmas time, and we're coming up to the multi.
Are we feeling generous to all our very loyal subscribers, Neil? Should we give them an early Christmas present?
Too right, yeah. What do you got lined up for them?
Well, if people haven't yet won a multi-comp, this is your day to enter, because I'm sure everyone will know the answer to this question. Simple question. As at today, who is leading the New Zealand Jockeys Premiership? So which jockey is currently on top of the Premiership for this season? All answers to Neil via email or text and he will be doing the winning draw, assuming his fans haven't mobbed him after a successful punters club at Tauranga today, later on tonight, Neil.
Yeah, I'll be up against it today, but I'll be doing my best. 027 352 6402 or formpro@formpro.co.nz. Make it by 9 p.m. because I'll be knackered by then. So, yeah, let me know. And yeah, that leading rider is riding really well at the moment, so should get a few correct entries there. Right, okay, we better get on our bikes because the race is coming up.
What about the form? You got something about the Form Pro ratings on Monday?
Oh, yep. Every Monday, listeners will know we have the greyhounds available to everybody, and been proving really popular too on a Monday because the hits on the website they go through the roof, and no, it's good to see. People are making a few dollars hopefully off those, and David's best bet came in a couple of weeks ago paying $10, and there were a few who were on that, so that was good. So, okay, well, looking forward to Ruby Amani winning this afternoon. Paying
Absolutely.
$4.80. We'll get
and we'll be back with one more show before Christmas next weekend.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And so everyone, good luck today, and good luck to us too with the Punters Club. We'll need that. So have a great day. Catch you next week.